Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday and Memorial Day. My Uncle Donnie wanted to join in today, so here he is in his Marine uniform. He joined the Marines during the Vietnam War in hopes that he would save the rest of his family from being drafted to go overseas. He was 19 years old when he was unalived in Vietnam. And I just wanted to talk about Memorial Day a little bit and why it's an important, I don't want to say holiday because that feels wrong, but a very important event that we recognize every year. There's a reason why Memorial Day is the last Monday in May, and it's because it used to be called Decoration Day. At the end of May, all the flowers were in bloom, and people could decorate their headstones. Didn't have to be necessarily military related, but anybody. They would decorate with these beautiful flowers that had bloomed. In the national cemeteries, we have one here in my state. The different armed forces go through and put flags on every headstone in the cemetery. And if you've never seen a national cemetery like Arlington, there's a lot. So I can only imagine how long it takes them to put a flag on everyone. Some people use poppies. I'm sure you've gotten 1 or 50 throughout your life. Women would put them on their purse or put them in their hair. I've seen some pretty creative ways people have worn poppies. Did you know that if you walk through not only the national cemeteries, but just a regular cemetery, if you see coins on top of headstones, those have meanings. A penny is just hi, somebody saying hi. A nickel is they went through boot camp together. A dime is they served in the same unit. And a quarter means they were with your person at the time they lost their life. So my third child is named after this man. my dad's brother. And he actually got to come home for 2 weeks. And when it was time for him to go back, he only wanted my dad to bring him to the airport. And he told my dad, I won't be back. And after he got over there, it wasn't too long after that he lost his life. This picture hung in my house all of my life, but we did not talk about that war. That was absolute taboo in our house. It absolutely broke my father's heart. And I wish he would have talked about it. But there are reasons why Donnie enlisted. He thought he would be saving his brothers from being drafted. However, that was not technically a law yet. They could still be drafted. It wasn't until 1971 when they said if you had a family member not come home, either they lost their life or were a POW or MIA, that no one from the family would have to serve. So, his departure from Earth was 6/6/68, and by the time they got him home, or I don't really know. I don't know details. But his funeral was on my brother's 4th birthday. So, I don't know if any of you have been to Arlington National Cemetery and seen the changing of the guards at the tomb of the unknown soldier, because no one is left behind. It is bone chilling, and they do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, whatever, they are out there, and they switch, and the precision that they do it is just, it's really something to be seen. The Vietnam Wall, that is a whole other site. They tell you before you start to walk through it that you may see people crying, upset, people in wheelchairs, people who lost limbs, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, friends of the people on the wall. It is something, and they tell you don't stare at them, just let them be. They're very, very angry. And all along the wall, it just, I can't describe how it is, but there are little trinkets that people leave. And the one thing that I remember the most that stood out to me was there was a little pair of cowboy boots leaned up against the wall. And we were told by the tour guide that they collect all of that stuff and we're going to put it in a museum that people could visit. I don't know if that has happened, but I'll never forget those little cowboy boots. In some parts of the United States, they celebrate Decoration Sunday, where they go through and put out beautiful flowers. They have, it's a celebration of sorts. They have food, and then a minister will do a sermon before midnight, which I think is a very beautiful sentiment, because it amazes me that how big these cemeteries are, and there are times when I have gone to visit him and I'm the only one there. It's really sad. So for generations coming up behind us, I really hope that you never forget what young men and women have done for us to be here in America and have the freedom that we do. I have the letters that he sent my mom from Vietnam, and maybe someday I will share them. They're sad. They're dirty. He'd be in a trench and he would write letters back home, and I can't even imagine what he saw over there. And millennials, Gen Zs, you need to understand what people have sacrificed and done. Today is not just a day off of school. There's deep, deep meaning behind it. Oh, and also local veterans um, do some sort of, I don't want to say celebration, remembrance, and they will put out a table with a white tablecloth and an upside down glass and a rose for someone that didn't make it home, which I think is beautiful. So today, when you're out and about, have the day off of work, have the day off of school, just remember why. And maybe just take a second and say thank you. I never got to meet him, but my dad said my youngest son reminded him of his brother Donnie. I'm trying to think of other facts, but I think I've talked too much already. To all the men and women who did not make it back, thank you for your service. Thank you for selflessly fighting for our country, the United States of America, so that we could be free. You are all loved and missed. And to all of those who have been wounded in combat, I pray that you are getting help and are finding some quality of life, and that there is a reason you are still here. So don't give up fighting. So today, just think about all of our men and women who give their lives for this country every single day. They deserve so much. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish I could have met him. I want to say thank you. And God bless America. God bless our men and women. And may God bless you out there. I was gonna make this more of a fun, upbeat video, but it doesn't feel right. So, with that, peace, love, and hugs always. And remember, smile at someone because you never know what they're going through. And if you happen to see someone wearing World War II veteran, Vietnam vet, Korean War vet hat, maybe tell them thank you. Thank you for your service. That's it. That's all I got. So, whatever you're doing today, may you go in grace. Take care, everyone. I will see you later. Bye.